What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about 5 stocks Ortex sees as a squeeze play. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with stock number 5, you have Upstart, ticker UPST. Over the last 1 year, hasn't really done the best, down 30.41%, and then over the last 1 month alone, down 27.1%. A lot of good information right here that you can, again, pause kind of the video, go through. Seasonality, so we are kind of midway through-ish, November, so first weekend, and historically, over the last 4 years, it does go up 5.3%. December historically goes down about 6.9%. January, February, and March seems to be pretty good. So again, just kind of take note of that. And then if this is your thing, feel free to pause it. This is what they do based on the company profile. So consumer finance, just shy of roughly about 1,200 employees, founded in 2012. But we're not here because of any of that. We're here because of it being a squeeze play from Ortex's standpoint. So Ortex is a platform I typically look at short interest from, and on occasion they give some hints that they feel that are squeeze plays. So again, Upstart is stock number 5, but 34.31% of the free float's being shorted. So 52-week high for that. 29.2 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is rather low, so it is 0.87%. That's an annual rate, not a daily rate. Short score is 71.5, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. And then DTC is sitting at 3.94 days. So Ortex usually kind of puts out their list on occasion, but they don't really give any context on why. And in my opinion, I think it is just the fact that shorts in Upstart's case are very overextended. And you can tell that from DTC more specifically, because DTC does factor in the average volume for Upstart in comparison to number of shares being shorted. And plus, shorts being at 52-week high, it's very clear that they are doubling and tripling down. And there's been a lot of fear associated to consumers lately, but through IBKR, it does indicate about 900,000 shares is available to be shorted. So somewhat limited supply. In some cases, you could be seeing some buying from big institutions, BlackRock, Vanguard, and so forth, just for the purposes of lending out stock. So it's a good kind of FYI, although in Upstart's case, cost to borrow is fairly low. So most likely that won't be really occurring, but definitely add Upstart to your watch list. Moving on to the next one, ticker is WULF, so TeraWulf, sitting at 13.94. Over the last 1 year, it is up 69.79%, and then over the last 1 month, up 15.59. So doing fairly well. You can see as well some of the rating summaries. So Seeking Alpha analysts have it as a buy, consensus 3.75, Wall Street strong buy, and based on the quantitative data, it is a hold. And this is some of the breakdown for the quantitative data. But nonetheless, seasonality over the last 10 years, it does go up 3.1% in November, 8% in December, and then pretty flat in January, pretty much all the way up till May for the most part. June seems to be a pretty good month on a side note, but I'm not going to be kind of focusing on that right now. Company profile, so application software, 12 employees, founded in 2021, but we are here because of this. So 37.24% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 106.96 million shares overall being shorted. So another stock that is at 52-week high short interest, despite the stock actually doing fairly well over the last 1 year. Short score is 68.92. Cost to borrow average is fairly low, 0.34%. And then DTC, similar to Upstart, is fairly high, so 2.17 days, signaling that they are overextended. And there's about 2.9 million shares, so most likely you won't be seeing any buying associated to this stock. So let me know your thoughts on this one. So another one to add to your watch list. Moving on, you have ticker is ZBIO, so Zenas BioPharma, sitting at 33.61. Over the last 1 year, it is up 60.66%, and over the last 1 month, up 50% alone. So this stock has some very good momentum from the rating summary, Seeking Alpha, Wall Street, and quantitative data all have it as a buy or a strong buy. So again, just maybe operationally, it might be worthwhile to kind of add to your watch list. This is what they do. So it is a biotech, 130 employees, founded in 2019. But 15.19% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 4.8 million shares. Cost to borrow average is 1.9, and so a little bit higher, but still overall nothing really significant. And DTC though, this is something really to take note of. It is 12.81 days. So that's probably why in reality this made the list, because this really does signal that shorts are extremely overdone, and they clearly threw a lot at it. So for instance, the short interest was about 15%, give or take, and yeah, they really doubled down. So they took it all the way to, for the most part from what I can see, about 70% short interest. That was in the second week of October, and then they recently did return. So they tried to slow the progress, didn't really work all too well. But still, short score 82.24, and then through IBKR you see a lonely 200,000 shares. But again, cost to borrow is kind of on the low end, so you might not be seeing any buying this week. So this is the third stock. Moving on to stock number 2, Avis Budget Group, ticker CAR, sitting at $143 over the last 1 year, up 51%, so pretty phenomenal stuff. And then over the last 1 month, down 3.12%. This is some of the rating stuff, so not clearly as good as the other stocks I brought up. But on a side note, the quantitative data does show the valuation as AA. So that's usually a good indication that it's a value play. For the seasonality, November seems to be pretty good. So over the last 10 years, it does go up about 9.1%. December down 7.6%. So that's maybe indication of what might be coming. And then pretty flat for the, looks like, first half of the year. This is what they do. I'm pretty sure everyone generally would know that. But passenger ground transportation, 20,000 employees. But 49.27% of the free floats being shorted, works it to be 7.28 million shares. And so just based on what is available through the loans, right now there's about 7.38 million. And yeah, it really does signal that at one point, probably in the first couple of weeks of October, there was a lot of indications of kind of naked shorting, just because there would have been more shares being shorted than on loan. So kind of crazy stuff. That's not the case right now, but it is inches. So something is happening with this stock that's not legit and not and definitely very sketchy coming from a short standpoint. But DTC sitting at 8.31 days, so very overextended. Short score 77.75, and then through IBKR you see 30,000 shares. But cost to borrow is fairly low. So again, you might not be seeing all that much in buying. And then moving on to stock number 1, ticker is CENX, so Century Aluminum, sitting at 33.05. Over the last 1 year, it is up 49.55%, and then over the last 1 month, it is up 6.9%. So good ratings from all three, so Seeking Alpha Analyst, Wall Street, and Quantitative Data. So that's pretty solid. Other than valuation, that's at a D+, so not necessarily the best, but I think that's probably because it jumped from about 29 to 33, give or take. And seasonality, November seems to be pretty good, so up 18.5% over the last 10 years. December also seems to be pretty good, same with January and February. So maybe if you are a good swing trader, this one might be something to kind of add to your watch list. This is what they do. So aluminum is the industry, 2,900 employees based out of the States, but 15.1% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 7.9 million shares overall are being shorted. So this is a good indication of naked shorting, and most likely why I made this list, because there is only 3 million shares on loan, yet there is 7.94 million shares overall are being shorted. So double. So definitely interesting, sketchy stuff is happening. DTC 4.24 days. So another stock that has shorts extremely overextended. And then through IBKR, you see about 1 million shares available to be shorted. So a lot of stocks. Many of them have shorts overextended, but this is what Ortex feels as a squeeze play. Stay tuned for my video that I'm going to be putting out over, I believe on Sunday, where I go over my search criteria, what I feel are some squeeze plays to add to your watch list. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. One final thing though, if you are looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, pop over to my Stacked account. Just created this roughly around like 24 hours, 48 hours ago. I have a lot of different tiers depending on what you're looking for, but if you're looking for some solid swing trades, I just launched this at $10 a month. And despite the fear that's been happening like pretty much Wednesday through Friday, a lot of the swing trades I put out there have been absolutely bangers. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and check out that. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.